What's up guys, Black Scout Survival, and today we're going to be talking about long-term food storage and disaster scenario. Obviously want to have foods at your house, or it could be snowstorms. We've had them in my area where everything was closed, you couldn't get food. Some people couldn't get food. Obviously I was prepared, but a lot of people were not, and so it doesn't have to be doomsday prepper type stuff, but long-term food storage, you got to look at it like this. You've got a few different options for food storage. You can get canned foods, you can get MREs, you can get rice and beans, Mylar bag and stuff like that, and as well as freeze-dried meals, which we're going to talk about today. The thing with like MREs, for instance, they're about $7 a piece on the market, and they only have a good 3 to 5 year shelf life. So what happens 3 to 5 years you hadn't used them, that you've wasted your money, and let's say you just go ahead and start eating them, then you don't have your food storage because you're eating your food. So freeze drying is really a good way to go, especially with these these ones that's on the market now. You can get for a pretty reasonable price, buy a bag or two here and there and stock up over time, and have a few weeks worth of food. I'm not into the whole having years worth of food. I don't really believe in that, but that's just my opinion. If you are into that, go ahead and do that. But one thing you have to look at is with freeze-dried meals, a lot of them, claim long-term shelf lives, but there was one company in particular I know that has a 25-year shelf life. We're going to really focus on their product today. We're going to talk about some other companies as well. But freeze-drying, if you don't know, has been around for like 1,000 years. The Incas actually started doing it. So it's not a technically new technology, but it has been refined by at least one company that I know of that I enjoy. So let's kind of go ahead. Here we are. I've got the Mountain House just in case kit, and this is just a bucket kit that you can get with the handle, and it comes sealed up, so you got to tear the seal off to open it up. But basically the bucket truly is just to protect the bags and the product, not necessarily to help with shelf life, but it's just basically a grab and go kit, throw in your vehicle or whatnot if you've got to leave your house or whatnot. So anyhow, Mountain House has been around since 1963, and they have had a military contract with DoD since the Vietnam War. They started off making lightweight entree meals for special forces and long range reconnaissance patrol for just the entree portion, as I said. They've also been on every mission to the moon or out in outer space since Apollo. And they've been in every climate between the North and South Pole and everything, in between. But this kit comes with a 4 rice and chicken meals, 4 chili mac with beef, and 4 spaghetti with meat sauce. And I will have to say these things are delicious. I've tried a lot of other ones. I've tried Wise, and Backpacker Pantry, and I really had high hopes for Backpacker Pantry, but I just couldn't really get the food to rehydrate in all the meals that I've eaten really well. And these just something doesn't really necessarily taste right. But the difference between Mountain House and these other guys is that these foods are real foods. They've actually been cooked and prepared, and then they take the process of freeze drying. And essentially, they pretty much perfected the technology. And basically they cook with raw materials, so real food. There's no like weird, crazy preservatives and all that kind of stuff that you may think may be in a freeze-dried meal. But it's then frozen until it crystallizes, at which point then it's vacuum dried to heat the crystals up to a vapor and to actually get into the pores of the food. So it pretty much, soaks into those pores. Now, if you look at like drying like beef jerky or something like that, it's hard to rehydrate because drying actually makes the pores close up. So that's pretty much how they perfected the technology. They have these bags here, they're resealable, so you can open them up and seal them back up and save food for later, because each one of these are 2 to 3 servings depending on which meal. This one, this is Biscuits and Gravy. This is a separate meal, and I actually just put this on the table because this thing is the most delicious. I mean, if you're from the country, if you're a fan of Biscuits and Gravy, this is like almost as good as mom makes. So definitely just go try that out and let me know what you think. But so that's like 2 servings there. This was 3, you know, so these main meals in here are about 3 a piece. So, you know, you got a family, you can split them up, and then they can be sealed back up. And pretty much, you know, I had the question, I spoke with the Mountain House guys, I had the question, I said, how do you treat this food? And they said, once you rehydrate it, you treat it as a real meal like you get from a restaurant. You got 2 to 3 days, you know, keeping it refrigerated and reheat it just like a real food. So, but the pouches basically have no oxygen inside of them, some kind of, I guess, process that displaces the oxygen to pretty much preserve. So, you know, the freeze drying process as well as the, you know, packaging is what really makes this product outstanding. And like I said, you can reseal this. So there's no crazy chemicals as I thought would be. But generally for, you know, most of these, like other products, you know, you have, you know, 10 or so years of shelf life, you know, but these meals will taste the exact same since the day they were cooked, 10 to 12 years out, okay? So they may lose some flavor and so beyond that, but it's still edible and you still get nutrients from it, you know what I mean? But 10 to 12 years out in this package, it's gonna be just like the day it was cooked. And like I said, I've been eating these meals for a few days, you know, trying them out, and they are delicious. I mean, it's almost like real food you know you cook yourself. But their shelf life truly is conservative. You know, they say 10 to 12 years tasting the original, but you know, all our government regulations, they got to put, you know, stipulations on this. But you know, 10 to 12 years just is that fresh taste, but they say they will exceed, you know, that, and that this is really a conservative estimate, and it can go for a lot longer. But like I said, they have these packs here. You can see the size, so you can kind of like fold them up, put some rubber bands around or something. And I mean, that's not very large. You can throw that in your pack, you know, a couple of those in your pack. And all you gotta do is heat up some water to boiling, let it sit in the package for a few minutes, and it has that, you know, directions on the back. So just heat it up and seal the package with the Ziploc and let it rehydrate. And you can eat it out of the pouch or put it in a canteen cup or something, or bowl. But then you can also, you know, if you don't eat all of it, you can reseal it and save the rest for later. But they do have, you know, smaller packs for like versions of this that you can purchase for people that go to like trips on Everest where they're going for an extended amount of time. They need to carry a lot of food with them. But it's, you know, you have those options. So like I said, the bucket is really just to protect the bag and protect, keep it as a grab and go kit. But this is truly my favorite. You know, like I said, I tried the other guys and they're just not really what I dig. So check out Mountain House. And I mean, this kit, I think it was 65, 70 bucks maybe. I think I've even seen some as low as 50, depending on which one it was. So, you know what I mean, you buy a couple MREs and you can have a kit like this. And this has, you know, 12 of these packages in it, 12, and then, so you got, you know, 36 pretty much meals in here, you know, or 12 meals if you have a family of 3, and less if you have more, obviously. But so you can definitely pretty much justify this, you know, buying canned foods and all that kind of stuff. Just say, you know, buy some of these packages. You don't, like I say, you don't necessarily need a bucket. You can get a 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's and throw them in. But, you know, pick up some of these here and there and put in a bucket and just save. That way you don't have to worry about rotating, it going bad or any of that kind of stuff. You got it and you know it's there, but you just, you know, need the water and the heat source to do that. And I'm sure you got water, and I'm sure you, you know, got some way of cooking or boiling water. So check out these guys. Check out blackscoutsurvival.com for any more tips or tutorials. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.